Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Momma Christine's podcast, Living Life Through Experience. This is episode 23, and I can't believe we've gotten this far, right? It's so great. So today we're going to talk about love, right? But love in many different aspects, not just the romantic kind, because usually that's right where we go. The first time you hear love, it's like, oh my God, right? So we're going to start with a card pull from the romance deck. And again, the romance deck is not always about the romantic partner, but about love. So let's go. Let's get started. Here we go. All right. Worth waiting for. Now, I love this card because it says the divine timing is at work in your love life. Now, of course, again, love in general. All right. Let's start with love, okay, for that new baby you just had. Personally, I spent my first marriage being married 10 years, and out of those 10 years, I never, ever got pregnant, but wanted a baby in the worst way. I mean, I knew as a teenager I wanted kids, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. And it just never happened. And later in life, I come to realize that was probably a good thing. And it wasn't meant to be with that person. I met my second husband and boom, just like that, one right after the other. Okay. I had my son, I got pregnant again, had a miscarriage. I got pregnant again and had twins. So there we go. I have my 3 kids. I'm happy. I have my children. But when you see the little face on that baby, that love is something that is indescribable. It truly is. And I think it's only something a mother can say. Obviously, dads love their babies. I know that. And that is a love for them as well. I think just the difference between the mom and the dad is the fact that the mom holds this baby, holds that energy for 40 weeks, and as it's progressing, your love is progressing. So that is your first love. Was it worth waiting for? Oh, hell yeah. Okay. So patience, if that is one of the love things that you're waiting for. Now, a lot of people are waiting for that right person to show up in their life. When am I going to meet my person? Patience, right? And I know we hate to hear that word patience, but the right person will be there. And when they do show up, you're going to realize they were worth waiting for. Because what happens in romance, and I can attest to this because, again, we're talking about living life through experience, and I share my experiences with you so that it may resonate with you or teach you or show you whatever you need to get from it. So when I met my first husband, it was like this instantaneous, oh my God, kind of thing. And like I said, we were married 10 years, but over those 10 years, I realized that it was all about whatever he wanted, what he wanted to buy. I was in charge of taking care of the money, which was a good thing. But again, at the same time, when somebody's not working with you on the spending, it makes it hard. But I started to notice over time that I was creating a lot of excuses for him and letting him do what he was doing and telling everybody, oh, it's fine, it's okay. And it really wasn't. It wasn't. I was lying to myself. That's what I was really doing. I was lying to myself. And I came to realize, I was just looking for somebody to fall in love with. Because I was one of those people that in high school, I knew I was going to get married. I was going to have children. I was going to be that person with the little house and the picket fence. And that's the life I wanted. And I knew that. And is there anything wrong with that? No. But again, jumping on basically the first person who really drew me into that love aspect and then says, marry me. And I'm like, yeah, right? Obviously, my intentions were for marriage to be the sacred thing that it is, okay? But again, my belief systems came from the old ways, and it was you marry somebody for life no matter what, you work things out, blah, blah, blah. And that's not always the case. Because if you have 2 people, okay, and one's working to fix, and the other one's like, I don't see the problem. That's not working. So sometimes you have to let go. But now, older, I can go back and say, okay, why did I do that? Why? Because I feel like something was missing out of my life in my childhood. And I've said this before. I had some issues. I loved my mom to death. I did. She was like my best friend. But my mom was a drinker. And as a drinker, she would go sleep it off before Dad got home. Or, she was like, you do this, you do that. She was, loved me. I knew she loved me, but it was not a lovey-dovey like today with my children. I took an oath to myself that with my children every day they would hear me say, I love you, as they grew up. And now when I see my kids, when they come home to visit, or I go to visit them, it's a hug, it's a kiss, it's hi mom, hi, hi to whoever I'm with, and I love you. It's all there. Because you have to express that love. You can't just assume it's there. So I think what I was looking for was that person who had that unconditional love for me, and turns out wasn't my person. So what happens in that situation is your heart is whole when you're born. And through the time of birth till you start learning how to love, there's holes in your heart, so to say. Okay? Or like I had a meditation over the weekend, and I says, picture a little paper heart, real pretty, right? But it's got rips in it. And that's all the disappointments and the hurts and all those things that have come through for you over time. And now what happens is, say this one rip is about not getting the love I really wanted from my mother, even though I knew she loved me, but she didn't show me she loved me. And she, again, was putting me in a position of becoming an adult way too early in life by taking care of the home while she was sleeping, and that's the love I missed. So that's the tear in my heart. And what happens is this person comes in and, wows me, right? It fills that void. And therefore you jump. Oh my God, this person loves me, right? Because that's what you're looking for. But what you have to realize is it's not always everybody else filling your voids. You have to fill your void, right? You have to make whole of your heart, heal your heart, be happy with who you are, be happy with your life, your looks, your everything. And we're going to move into that in a moment. So yes, sometimes we jump on letting people into our lives because they fill that void. But I can promise you that the person you're looking for, if you don't have them already, is out there. And they will be worth waiting for. So yes, I know we have no patience. And society says, oh, you should be married by a certain age. You should have kids by a certain age. You shouldn't be so picky. You shouldn't be so high maintenance. You shouldn't be... When I have people in here looking for relationships, and in a reading, I tell them, I says, manifest what it is you want. I want somebody who's loving and caring and kind and compassionate, supportive, understanding. Somebody who will hold my hand, somebody who will hug me when I need it, somebody who will, be there to pick me up if I fall. And then vice versa. Having that type of a relationship with somebody. And all the other stuff is just extra. Somebody who likes to bike ride, somebody who likes to ski, somebody who likes to hike, whatever it is, you know what I mean? But all those emotional components should be first. They really should. And some people are like, well, that's what I was kind of asking for. And my friends are like, oh, you're asking for way too much. You're expecting way too much. I'm like, I'm sorry. No. And that's the problem, I think, today, is everybody's looking for that quick fix, somebody to show me love, and you're my person. Because I felt love. And it's like, there's more to love than just feeling this instantaneous, oh my God, this person's perfect, right? It's not just that. It's everything. And I say, yeah, be high maintenance when it comes to looking for someone for love in your life. Why not? Why should you settle for less than what you deserve? And we all deserve the best. We do. So now, of course, if you're somebody who feels like, I deserve this, you're going to get somebody who's going to give you this. Okay? If you put your intentions up here, then that's what you're going to attract, is people up there. You know what I mean? So be mindful when looking for love. Now we go back to the self-love. Oh, self-love. How many people can honestly say, I love myself? Not many. Why? Because we were taught that was selfish, that was egotistical. How dare you, right? You shouldn't love yourself like that. Why not? Why not? And yet, if we were taught that, then you go out and you see somebody who actually says, oh my God, I love who I am. I love my body. I love what I do. I love this. I love this about myself. You're like, oh my God, conceited, right? Right? Exactly. That's not conceited. That's confidence. That's living in your personal power. Now, there's a difference between going around and going, well, I'm pretty and you're ugly. Okay, that kind of thing, right? That's egotistical. But if somebody is truly confident within themselves and they can, I mean, how many times have you seen people going out, especially New York City, oh my God, they go out and they are dressed to the nines in the most eccentric outfits. But you know what? That's who they are. So who are we to judge that? And that's the problem. We all sit around and judge that. And why do we judge that? Because we don't love ourselves enough to do the same thing. I'm not saying you have to dress like that, but I'm saying if you would love to just walk down Fifth Avenue in a beautiful dress and heels, and all done up and whatnot, then why not? Right? That's confidence. That's confidence. So, I follow this guy on Facebook. His name is Devon. And he is an artist, and he finds the most eccentric people he can, and he draws them, and they're beautiful, beautiful pictures. And he talks to these people. And that's the problem. We never talk to these people. We just judge the surface. And that's not lovable, okay? I'm telling you that right now. That is not love, okay? Love has many different stages, many different levels, whatever you want to call it. And, you can love another human being for being who they are, okay? It doesn't mean that you love them, right? But you love who they are as a person. And when he talks to these people, oh my God, they're so interesting to listen to. Where they came from, who they are, what they do. It's like, wow. And that's what we have to remember is everybody is a human being. I don't care if it's the bum on the street laying in the gutter or the person in the penthouse, okay? Everybody is a human being, and we should love one another no matter what. And I know that's kind of hard right now in this country, this world. But you know what? The more we sit there and focus on what we don't like about it, we're going to get more of that. So manifest what you do want, not what you don't want. If you see somebody laying in the street that's homeless and you want to buy them food and a drink, then by all means go for it. You want to give them money, go for it. That's your business. People are like, don't give your money away. They're all going to spend it on drugs. You know what? I don't care. I'm doing something good. What that person chooses to do with it is their thing, not mine. So again, if you don't want us to give them money, give them food, give them water. See a quick, a cheap blanket at Five Below, pick up a blanket and give it to a homeless person. I'm not telling you what to do, but little acts of kindness like that, that's love. That is showing love, okay? Now, again, go to the penthouse, the top of the chain, okay? Same thing. Hi, how are you? Treat that person the same way. Everybody should be treated the same way. Now, how they treat you is not your issue, it's theirs, okay? Because you may be middle-class person here, right, which most of us are, and they can be like, oh, well, I'm up here and you're only here. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Have a nice day. Have a great day, right? Kill them with kindness. You do you. That's what matters. That's what brings love into this world. That's what brings love into your energy by doing good, okay? So do you love yourself enough to do whatever it is you want to do? Do you love yourself enough to dress the way you want to dress? Do you tell yourself that you love yourself? If you don't, maybe you should start. Louise Hay, and most people know her. If you don't, look her up. Louise Hay, who owned Hay House, okay, which is a major company that has gone international, has all types of self-help authors, speakers, teachers, so on and so forth. If you remember Dr. Wayne Dyer, he was part of Hay House. Oh my God, so many. Anita Mojani, Cheryl Richardson. You can go on and on and on. And Louise Hay started her business by realizing she had to change life. You can always get a book and read her whole story. But basically, she started realizing that if she didn't love who she was, nobody else was going to see that love either. Because notice how people that are in a bad space, you're really not attracted to those people. You're kind of standoffish with them, like, yeah, I don't know, right? Well, what happens is we get stuck in our own ruts and we don't love ourselves, and that energy shows. You know what I mean? It really shows. And a lot of times you get people who are really in tune with themselves will kind of like, not that they're being mean, but the energies don't match. And it's like, if you want to attract bigger and better, you have to think bigger and better, right? If you're looking to attract love, as far as love in general, then you have to be love. And Louise realized that. And at 50 years old, she wrote a book. And that book was made of paper and yarn that she used to tie the binding. And she just started passing them out at church, and people loved what she had to say. So therefore, Louise Hay was born, right? She started writing, and she started talking about how to be positive and how to love yourself, and went on and on and on to create more books, and again, a major company, an international company. And even though she's passed on now, that company's still flourishing. You know what I mean? Because she loved herself enough to go after what she wanted. And she knew it would be worth waiting for. Because yes, everything starts very small and it grows. And everything takes time. Things don't grow in an instant, right? Our bodies don't become, our mind, body, and soul does not become a hurt being over one singular item, but years and years of worth of things that have happened to put us where we are today. So Louisa's biggest thing was, every morning when you get up, stand in front of the mirror, look yourself in the eyes and say, I love you. And some people can't even do that. They're like, that's weird. No, well, you might think it's weird right now, but it's technically not weird. There's nothing wrong with loving who you are as a person. Have you ever loved the person you have become in your career? Like, I have done so well for myself. I have, gone up the ladder, and I have gotten promotions, and I've improved, and I'm making more money. That's loving yourself. That's the confidence of who you are in your career, okay? So think of that energy, but as a whole, okay? So yeah, go after what you want. Be who you are. Dress the way you want. Stop worrying about how big you are, how small you are, how short you are, how tall you are, what color you are. It doesn't matter. It does not matter, okay? Like, look at me. See my hair? My hair has been like this, oh my God, probably for 15, 20 years, okay? I'm 58, so I started with gray hairs at 11. But you know what? As I got older, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Screw it. I'm just going to let it go. And I did. I don't look at myself as like, oh my God, I'm all gray. I'm old. No. Tell a 40-year-old they're old because they're all gray. They're not old. It's a color. That's all it is. And today I know people that still in their 70s and 80s are still dyeing their hair because they feel like they're going to look old. And it's like, no, be who you are. I'll tell you, when COVID hit and everybody was doing the grow out, I was already looking like this. And people are like, oh my God, who does your hair? I'm like, me, it's mine. I don't color this. This is who I am. This is my color. This is my style. This is me. You know what I mean? So yes, I love my hair. I love the style. I love so many things about myself now that I didn't before. Do I still trip up and go, oh God, I wish I could lose some more weight. Oh my God, this shirt makes me look fat. And then I'm like, stop it. Just stop. Right? Everything's going to work out. Everything's going to be fine. We're taking care of ourselves. We're moving forward. So yes, as one of my people at the retreat said this weekend, I love Christine because she puts the human aspect into her spirituality. Because that's who we are. We're human beings, right? We're spiritual beings living a human existence. So yes, we're going to be human. Are we always perfect? No. Because even Louise Hay, as much as she would always push, say everything positive, and I mean everything. She never had a negative, no, nothing come out of her mouth. Until one time I saw her in New York, and she actually said, don't. And Cheryl Richardson was like, oh my God, Louise Hay said a negative word, right? And even she was like, oh my God. But again, we're human, right? It's going to happen. So do not beat yourself up. Don't stop loving yourself because you said something or did something. You're human. We're going to trip. We're going to make mistakes. Get back up and just keep going. Again, I have changed so much in 20 years. It just even blows my mind sometimes. But I look at it and I'm like, you know what? It's great. It is great. I'm happy with myself. I love myself. Yes, human. Oh my God. Like, I get my moments and I'm like, whatever. Whatever. Be a human. Love yourself anyway. What did they say? Fear, do it anyway. Well, love yourself anyway. Because the more you start showing yourself love, which means showing yourself self-care, understanding, compassion, right? All those things, that helps you to love yourself more. So remember those things. Now, friendships. Friendships are great. Have you ever told a friend, I love you? Or does that sound weird? Some people think it's weird. Many people have grown up, when you say, I love you, it's usually mom or dad, and then your romantic partner. Outside of that, why would you say I love you to somebody? Why wouldn't you? I have a best friend, and she went through something many, 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 many years ago, and she was just so beside herself with what she was going through. And she's not a very emotional person, but it's due to her background as well. But I still loved her as a friend. And she wasn't the I love you type or anything like that, or the huggy type. And I went over and I just hugged her. And I says, you know what? I love you. And I'm here for you. Whatever you need, you let me know. And she was just like, oh, okay. And she did find it weird. But again, it's because of where she's been and what she went through. So yeah, you don't always get that response you're looking for, but you can still tell your friend you love them. Again, it's not weird. We can love so many people. How many times you sit there talking with friends or whatever, say, oh my God, remember so-and-so? Oh God, I loved her. So if we can say that, why can't we say, I love you to a friend? Especially when they need it. And don't friends need to know that you love them? It's so, I don't know, heart-centered. It's heartfelt, right? It's just that, oh wow, that feels so good. It's how to describe a feeling, you know what I mean? But it does, it feels so good to know that your friend loves you, especially like if you've been through an argument or something, and you finally work things out, you talk about it and you get through it, and what you say, whatever you have to say, and then you finish with a hug and I love you. I have other friends, I love you, right? Because I love my friends. Remember, there's two separations in love. I love you, I am in love with you, right? Those are two different things. So that's why you have to learn to separate the I'm in love with you partnership to the I love you, mom, dad, sister, brother, friend, whoever, right? Love is an amazing thing. And when we love ourselves, it's easier to love others. Because again, you're attracting what you are giving off, okay? Like attracts like. So if I love who I am as a person, right, I have that energy. Therefore, I attract somebody who's on the same plane as myself. If you don't love yourself, you're going to meet up with somebody else who really doesn't love themselves, and then what kind of relationship does that turn out to be? Because you're both looking for something you don't have and you cannot give each other because it's not the same. So, taking care of yourself, looking for that friendship love, that romantic love for a new job, a new career, a new goal, a new dream. You can love so many different things. They all take time, and again, I just turned 58 on Sunday and I don't feel 58. I don't think I look 58, but I had before that many years of healing that needed to take place in order to get where I am today. And like I said, I've been doing this work for 20 years. So, Again, is it going to take you 20 years? No. But once you start moving in the path of healing, letting go, loving yourself, being kind, non-judgmental, and again, remembering you're human and you're going to screw up, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Just get back on your love wagon, as I'll call it, okay? And just keep going. Keep going. You know, don't knock yourself down just because you messed up or you made a mistake or you tripped or whatever. It's life. It's life. So love yourself. Love who you're with. You know, love what you do. And remember, everything takes time. Because the healing aspect, especially for self, because everything always starts with self, it's remembering you have to start letting go. What's the first thing that pops into your head that you feel has hurt your heart? Now, it could be something from childhood. It could be something from yesterday. Who knows? But try journaling. I mean, I tell people this all the time, and I know people are like, oh, I hate writing. But you know what? It's the best thing you can do. Write a letter to yourself, explaining to yourself why you're angry. What created this anger? Who did it? Who participated? All the different aspects, you know, all the pieces. Just get it all out. And if it is one specific person, then write that person a letter. So, you know, and because I did that in breath work one time. This is how I healed myself with my mom. It's my first time ever doing breath work. I was blown away. But I'm telling you, I came out of that breath work bawling my eyes out like a blubbering baby. I mean, I have never cried so much in my life. I think I cried more there than I did when my parents died. And I cried a lot then too. And I got to go in there, just like I'm telling you to write it out in a letter. In breath work, I got to go up to my mother and say, you bitch, you made me grow up so much faster than I should have. I didn't get a childhood. I got shown how to be a wife and how to be a mother and how to take care of a home way before I should have known how to do that. So you could go sit there and do what you wanted to do and drown your sorrows and whatever. That was my anger. And it came out. And in my breath work, she grabbed me, she hugged me, and she says, I am so sorry I did that to you. I was hurting and didn't know how to live any differently. So for that, I apologize. And all this is happening in breath work. It blew my mind. It blew my mind. And I mean, I've done breath work many times since, and anything that's been going on that hasn't been released yet or something that's new that's been going on, it's just like once I go, it's like such a release to let that go. But journaling can do the same thing. Maybe not as an intense thing as breath work in the beginning, but keep going. Start healing yourself. Don't worry about the outside pieces. Worry about you. Heal and let go of your past, what's going on now, what's negative, what's bad energy, people that don't serve you anymore, or maybe shouldn't have served you at all. If you can't fix it, you can't change it, let it go, let them go. Job's not working for you, change jobs. And no excuses. Stop with the excuses. Because, but I'm going to lose my benefits. I'm going to lose this. I'm going to have to start all over again. Good, start all over again, because at least you'll be happy. If you're in a relationship that's not working, by all means, get out. Okay? Don't make excuses. Well, maybe this time he'll change. I've heard that more times than I've blown my nose, okay? I mean, really. I'm like, how long have you been with this person? 8 years. And how long have you been thinking they're going to change? 8 years. Yeah, guess what? They're not going to change. Get out. Get out. Okay? Stop making excuses. Stop letting fear take over. Think of what is best for you. Do you want to love your life, love yourself, and love everything about it? Then make a change. That's all I can tell you is make changes. I'm telling you, when you make the change, they might be scary, but do it anyway. And you're going to find on the opposite end of all that craziness is life, breath, love, peace. Seriously. So no matter what love aspect of your life, again, is not working for you, Fix it, change it, or let it go and stop making excuses, because the only one who can fix it is you. You made a choice. Now you can either stick with what doesn't make you happy, or you can make the choice to change it. Because I've had people in here complaining about, oh, I've been with him for 8 years and I've tried for 8 years to see if he'll change. He's not going to change. So guess what? How old are you? 20, say 35. Okay, you're 35 and you've been feeling like this for the past 8 years. Good for you. Okay, now you could live another 50 years. We'll just go with 50. You haven't been happy for 8. Do you want to live another 50 like this? No. Then do something about it. But it's scary. Yes, it is. Everything is scary. Going to school at first grade was scary. Going to high school was scary. Getting married was scary. Okay? Having kids was scary. Driving was scary. There's a lot of things that are scary, but we did it anyway. And that's what you have to remember. So, work on healing you. Work on self-love. Once you start changing here, everything around you can change. And don't try to change everything at once. Oh my gosh. If your job is that bad, then you know what? Work on you and get rid of that job and get a new one. If your relationship is that bad, work on you, work on that person. Fix it, change it, let it go. Okay? That's how you're going to heal. That's how you're going to find self-love. Because if you love yourself enough, you will do what you need to do to change. I promise you. So, with that being said, here we go. Honeymoon. Yay! So what happens in a relationship, right? We meet, we have that honeymoon stage. Everything's great. Everything's perfect. You can have that. You can have that in your life, right? How does it feel to have everything just feel good, right? It's there. It is there. I can promise you that. Been there, done that. And it doesn't have to mean in the romantic sense. It can be in yourself, in your job, your career, your business, your friendships. All of that can be there. Are there bumps in the road? Sure. Are there speed bumps here and there? Of course. Roadblocks? Yeah. Detours? Of course. But that's life. But you're going to find when you put yourself in a good place, all those detours and blocks and whatever they are, just like, whatever, we'll get through it. Off you go. It's not an, oh my God, what am I going to do thing anymore. It's like, well, this sucks. Oh, well, let's just deal with it. There's a difference. There's a big difference. So guys, that's what I'm bringing you this week. Love yourself. Love who you are, what you do, what you look like. Love yourself from the inside out. And I promise you, when you do that, you exude that energy of confidence and positivity and love, and you will attract that into your life. So give yourself patience to get through what you need to get through. Remember, mirror work every morning. I love you. Right in the mirror. Look yourself in the eyes. I love you. I love your hair. I love your look. I love your clothes. I love who you are. Seriously. It may sound stupid at first, but I'm telling you, it's going to make a big change in you. Do what you can. Journal. Meditate. If you know a place that does breath work, then by all means go to a breath work, because that's going to help you to heal real fast. Okay? It is a little much, but it's a good much. Okay? So yeah, do what you got to do for you. You know? And again, even listening to me talk tonight, maybe you're going to listen to it 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times before you're like, yeah, you know what? That's it. I'm doing it. I got to make a change. I have to do something. And sometimes you need that repeated, and whether it's me or anybody else, because I'm willing to share. You know what I mean? There's a million people in the world who can tell you self-help guidance. It doesn't always have to be me. It's whoever connects with you. And if I'm connecting with you, great. And if there's somebody else that connects with you, great. Because I know myself, there's a few people I listen to. So, don't be shy. Move around, find what works for you. But all I know is you need to work for you. So get the job done. Work on it. I love you. I do. I love all of you who watch my videos every day on social media. All I can say is thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because I do love what I do for work, even though I don't consider it work. To me, this is like, yay, I'm going to work. I love it. It doesn't feel like work to me. And to be able to bring everything that I know and understand and experience to you makes me happy. So have a great night. I will talk to all of you next week. And I think things are going to start shifting pretty soon. So I'll keep you posted on some new things that I might bring into the podcast. But yeah, for now, that's it. So have a great night, everybody, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.